So imagine a million pilgrims flocking to a tiny village because someone claims to have seen a vision of the divine. They're waiting for the ultimate authority on earth, the Catholic Church, to basically tell them if this miracle is real. And the church just kind of shrugs and says, well, maybe.
Yeah, and, that institutional maybe is actually one of the most fascinating bureaucratic tools they have for handling the unexplainable.
Right. So welcome to today's episode, where we're unpacking a really fascinating document that details exactly how the church investigates, judges, and categorizes these private apparitions.
Exactly. And if you've ever wondered how a massive ancient institution processes these grassroots reports of the supernatural, this is definitely for you.
Yeah, so to set the framework, the document lays out some very definitive parameters, right?
Right.
Usually there's two clear-cut verdicts.
Yes, mostly Latin. First, there is Constat, the supernaturalitate. That simply translates to approved. The supernatural origin is confirmed.
Wow, okay. Dropping the heavy Latin right out of the gate. But essentially, that's the ultimate green light.
It is, yeah. And the absolute opposite is Constat non supernaturalitate, which just means rejected.
So a definitive no.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It means the commission confirms the origin is definitively non-supernatural. So, like a hoax or a purely psychological event.
Right, which makes me think of an FDA clinical trial. Like Constat means the drug works and hits the market, and Constat non means it's toxic or totally fake.
That's a really good analogy, actually.
But, in clinical trials, you often get data that's completely mixed. So the drug just sits in phase 2 testing forever. What happens when the spiritual evidence leaves the jury entirely split?
Well, that brings us to the third category in the document. It's called the Dubitative formula, or non-constat the supernaturalitate.
See, I have to push back on the phrasing there a bit. Non-constat literally translates to "it is not proven." That sounds so inherently negative.
It does sound that way, yeah.
Right. Isn't this just a bureaucratic, polite way for them to say absolutely not without, causing a riot among the believers?
You would think so. But interpreting it as a polite refusal entirely misses the point.
Yeah.
Non-constat is strictly a statement of doubt.
Oh, wait, really? Just doubt?
Yes. It's from a commission that just couldn't reach a majority conclusion. It's a legal loophole, but a highly purposeful one. It doesn't say yes, but it explicitly refuses to say no.
But why use a loophole at all? Like, if the evidence is weak, why not just dismiss it entirely?
Because they're balancing two massive risks. Officially endorsing a false miracle damages their historical credibility, right?
Oh, sure.
But on the other hand, crushing a legitimate spiritual movement is also a huge risk. So by issuing a non-constat ruling, the church explicitly leaves the door open. The case is emphatically not closed.